7 p.m. Friday. It's 7 p.m. Friday.
It's 95 degrees. I ain't got
Hey. Hello. It is actually 7:21 on a glorious Tuesday. I'm pissed off. I have a drink though. A lot of things.
That song was very important, not only for Jacqueline's feelings for the moment and the time of day, because clearly not the day, but it's also just important because it was like our song for the weekend. That song. What else? Beach, we outside tonight.
Yeah, bitch.
Beach, we outside tonight.
Hold on, Trick. He fucking that broke bitch. You cannot curse. That is so cute. Oh my gosh. But that's so crazy. He's like, I gotta get there. Okay, y'all. We admitted in. Let's introduce ourselves. Sorry, you guys. Hey, if you're just listening to us, or if you're coming back, hey, this is the Just Extra podcast with Jackie and Erica. I'm Jackie.
And I'm Erica, and we've been outside.
We've been outside.
All about it. We went to DC, so we're excited to share with you all about our little girls' trip. Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to go ahead and talk about everything that's kind of happened this past week because apparently, outside has been buzzing and the news has been buzzing while we were outside buzzing around, the wonderful capital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But as always, before we get into it, we have some extra thoughts. This is our segment where we just talk about our extra leftover thoughts from the last episode. So, it was Gangchella and Cinderella, and we were kind of talking about different family matters and things like that. And Jackie, I think you were referring to your father, and you phrased it. I should have wrote it down. I don't have a father, and I wanted to say something in the moment, but I just let us keep going, and thought, you know what, a perfect little for our extra thoughts segment. So can you explain why you used that phrasing?
I thought it was very interesting that you wanted to talk about it because we did talk about it a little bit in DC. We were definitely in a drunken phase where we were just expressing ourselves really fast. That's how I know I'm really feeling myself, but I'm like, okay, the feelings are just flowing out. Okay. They're not really holding in, by the brick wall that I create for myself, but whatever. Yeah, I said it because a lot of people choose not to celebrate Father's Day. Some people ignore it. Some people, don't have a relationship with their fathers. And, some people just don't like to acknowledge it. Or if they're a mother, they like to acknowledge themselves on both Father's Day and Mother's Day. And I don't really agree with that. I love my dad a lot. And I don't have a live active father to celebrate with. And that used to be our thing every year. Now, the last year he was alive, I didn't want to do what he wanted to do because I didn't want to go to Golden Corral. But I digress. Who does? But I know it's his day, but whatever. Ain't nobody trying to go there. That's gross. Anyway, okay, long story short. He was like, anyway. But yeah, I just say that to say, I don't have a dad to actively celebrate with. Everybody wants to drop off their ties or drop off their little cards or whatever, but we actually did activities. Me and my dad were very close, so, and people who grew up with me saw that and knew that. And so when I say it, I'm not really not acknowledging him like I don't have a dad, but I had a dad. I'm a human being. I needed a mother and a father to come here, but I don't have a present physical being to celebrate in that way anymore. So that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I understand that. That makes sense to me. I just think that the specific wording, I knew what you meant, but the wording of it made it seem like I don't know. And I know he's not around, but like it almost is like never been around or like I don't know, I guess I just would have expressed it, especially considering like it being close, you know, like sometimes I'll be like, I ain't got no mama because like when I think of a mother, you think of someone who like literally raised you and like nurtured you. And I feel like that's not an experience that I have ever had. I've never been nurtured by an older woman, specifically, you know, biologically or even non bi. Like, no one has ever acted as a mother to me. So when I say, like, when I think of that wording, I would think of it like that versus like, oh, like my father passed, you know, so I don't have like my father actively, you know, maybe even add a word in there to be like to celebrate him or like, you know, just like I would have, I don't know, I just thought it just stuck out to me. And I just thought it was interesting. Like he's not currently, you know, here to have me celebrate him or to love on him, like just something like that. I don't know. The one just like I don't have a father, blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, interesting. Hmm.
Yeah, I like to go straight for the quick words. Like I don't really have a like I don't fit in many words, you know. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not a even though I have a podcast with my friend, I'm just, I'm not the I'm not the lady of many words,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll get straight to it. Whatever I say will have, impactful statement of an impactful feeling.
Yeah.
Um so it was more so what I say will have an impact, but of course it'll be up for interpretation. Could be a good interpretation or a bad interpretation. So I hope you don't hear the sirens,
I,
girl.
I, I, I do, but maybe the people
Oh,
won't.
okay. I don't know what's going on outside. Okay. But yeah, so those who know me know, like, I'll say statements that are really bold and very short to the point. So you can interpret it any type of way. But I appreciate you for asking and inquiring more.
Hmm.
But that's what I mean by that.
Okay. Well, thanks for sharing. Yeah. So you have a catch up as well because something's happening with you.
As
Let
you
me
can
take a sip.
see, y'all, look, I have a
That is both at the same time.
As you can see in my hands, I have a drink, okay? We are mixing spiked simply blueberry lemonade, which let me try it by itself because I never had this by itself.
She said,
Hmm,
mixing the alcoholic beverage
it's all
with
right.
more alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, girl, I still have some left from my graduation party.
I love that.
So I mixed a little bit of Tito's with a little of that double XL wine that people say there will be anal play if they drink it. It's like the new Capriccio of our time right now
Oh,
because it's like
wow.
17%. Yeah. It's
Ah.
It's very nasty. Actually, me and Aparna was
Uh,
like, "Ooh, we can't wait to try it." It's nasty, girl. Don't try it.
mm-mm.
You have to mix it. It's
Dang.
disgusting. But anyway, so you would think blueberry mango with a little vodka would be good. No. Okay, let's get to it. Y'all, I thought about it this weekend too. I feel like this weekend was a lot of reflection, like personal reflection upon yourself, like because you have some extra time. Um, I realize I do put myself through moments of, suffering, and I shouldn't have to. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
why. Like, but for some
Mm-hmm.
reason, stress makes me feel more alive. It doesn't make me feel like stagnant. But there's some times where I'm like, damn, I don't need to stress out in this moment. Why do I have to hurt myself so badly? And we'll get into it later. Um, yeah, the reason why I'm still at this job and I could have been quit and had 2 weeks off of just glorious me time is because I was like, okay, well, I need to, I want to. Goddamn, these sirens over
I didn't hear it that time.
here. Okay. Anyway, so look, um, yeah, I'm still at my job. I haven't given them my 2 weeks notice yet because I wanted to stack up. I wanted to quote unquote, work two jobs at the same time. And we'll talk about that more during our trip. But yeah, I don't think I could do it. I tried to train a lot of people today, and no offense to the ladies that I've trained. Um, some are a lot older, and then some are younger who can pick up pretty quickly, and then some that are not very technically, astute. But um I realize why they love me so much at my job is because of how quickly I can do the job. The process for me to review these claims emails takes 20 minutes. And then I walk through the process with them, and everyone had to do their own version of it, and I had to watch them do it. Now, granted, I've been doing it, so it's like second nature to me. But then when you realize somebody takes over an hour and a half to do one email, you're like, damn, y'all really gonna have a time without me. And that's why they wanted to honestly keep me there for a little longer. Like, you could stay to like help train them, and then you can go in and help out in the inbox, because I think my boss already knows like once I leave, it's not going to be pretty at all. But the thing is, I'm very stressed out because you guys want me to play by the books by working with you guys, but I also am going to go into a whole nother field that's a whole stressor in itself. And honestly, being frank with you, like, I looked at myself in my pictures this weekend and I really enjoyed myself, but it's just like the stress caused me to gain so much weight. I'm a full size lady now. Like, I'm like, I have to accept the fact that I'm a plus size, and it's okay. And it really fucking sucks. But it's because of my stress that I've done this to myself. Like, I overwork myself at school, I overwork myself at the job, and that's why my cortisol levels are up. And that's why you have some fat ass nigga trying to tell me to work out when you look like a letter D. But whatever. I digress. So, I shouldn't drink because that also makes you fat too, but that's okay. We're only having one tonight.
Okay. I would like to say that I don't think that you are plus size. Plus size, I feel like starts at like 16, and I don't want to. I ain't gotta say not a single thing to me yet. But like, I think as
We're not
thick
we're not
as you
there
think
yet.
that you are, you look good. You're shapely. Now, do you look like you did whenever you feel like looking back? No,
No.
neither do I. Okay, neither do a lot of us. Okay, so I don't want you to be too hard on that because you are beautiful. Face card never declines. Okay, um, so in regards to managing your stress, 1,000%, 1,000%. Like again, you and everybody else who lives in this rat race society does need to, have stress management tactics that they can leverage and that they can use. Because stress will put you in an early grave. There are a lot of things that will put you in an early grave. But yes,
Yeah.
stress is definitely one of them. I wrote down a question because why does stress make you feel alive?
Because when my adrenaline is moving and when I feel like I'm racing against time, again, another thing too, like the time management thing, like, I don't know, I just don't feel motivated when I feel like, it's so slow. What's happening? Like, I need some action. I need some drama, and I don't like to cause drama in other people's lives, so I just cause it for myself. I think unknowingly, and I'm really, really digging in deep. Maybe because of the gift that we received this weekend, and I just got a little, introspective. But I was like, damn, why do I cause so much extra stress for myself and I don't have to? You know, like, is this the only way I have to feel alive? You can go other ways.
That's what
I
I'm trying to
just
get
think,
at. I'm like, why stress? Why don't you be like, happiness, love, like those things really make me
because
feel alive.
I do try to give that out to everybody else, but I just, for some reason, I don't know why I just can't give that to myself. I just don't feel like, oh, I make myself happy when I'm quiet, but then I don't know. I'm just not really that motivated. Maybe I'm just lazy sometimes. I need some
Mm-hmm.
extra stress to like put that fire into me. Because if I don't have any goals, if I don't have anything to look forward to, I just feel very stagnant. Like, feel
Mm-hmm.
very a bump on a log, So,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Like, what is purpose in your life? If you're not
hmm
overwhelmed, right?
yes,
Like, you're not doing enough, right?
there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I actually get very, and I think I talked about this on this podcast, but when things work out exactly as is and I'm on time, my anxiety raises even higher than when I'm like rushing, you know? Because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like something's bad's gonna happen.
Interesting.
Like, mm-hmm. I don't,
Ooh.
You know, I don't know. And we could take this all the way back, but it's just like whenever I felt like, oh, what a great day, what an awesome day, something bad happened, you know?
Yeah. I can relate.
So,
I have said that to my therapist when I first started therapy. I was like, yeah, whenever I feel like things are going good, I always feel like there's something bad coming around the corner. Like, I always just feel like, life is cyclical. Life is cyclical. So, like, whenever something bad, or good is happening, something bad is going to happen, right? Ebbs and flows. So, it's just like, when is it? It's a matter of time, right? So, I can relate to that. Yeah, that's anxiety.
so it's time for me to get back into therapy.
Okay,
Like, I have
great.
to
I'm
use
glad you said
it's, it's time for me to get back because I'm not doing well. Apparently,
it.
I'm not doing
Okay.
well at all.
I'm
So,
sad to hear that. But thank you for sharing that.
oh, you're welcome. Anytime, guys. Well, guys isn't anybody else that listen, and to you, my dear.
And
So,
watches. Okay, because we're gonna be on YouTube. We drop on Thursdays. Yay!
I'm so happy
Um
that you got it.
thanks. Okay. Well, my catch up is all up wrapped into this episode. So we'll just proceed right on along to our extra segment. We'll start with something a little lighter. Hey, we were just heavy. We're gonna go into a flow, right? We was
Right, I
ebbing,
didn't
now we
mean
flowing.
to.
Oh,
I'm
we swag
sorry,
and we
y'all.
surf and we swag and we surf. I'm in the culture, like the BET Awards. Okay.
Speaking of BET Awards, yeah. How was that? Because I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch it straight through. I just kind of, got the headlights, the headlines, whatever the lights are. Um, I just got that
Highlights.
highlights. Yeah, baby, the highlights. And my girl Impressive already had something out on the intranets. And then I just watched like the clips of the performances. And yeah, so Taraji P. Henson was the host of the award show this year, and she opened with a I don't know what's it called, a rendition, like her little parody skit kind of situation on They
Mm.
Not Like Us. She kind of like changed the lyrics a little bit. I haven't like fully dived into those, but it was basically like, um, women's need equal pay, and we gotta look like
Interesting.
it's all us, it's all by us, it's all something about that. So yeah, she was just making it not a rap beef, but making it more like, yeah, this is the BT, we black up in here, and it's an election year, we gotta do what we gotta do. That was kind of the vibes she was giving. I thought it was good, that she did the whole rap straight through. She had a little small choreo moments, I'm sure she was getting back into her hustle and flow days. Maybe her
Such a
empire
sweaty movie.
days, okay? Um, but yeah, so that I appreciated that. What else do I want to say about Taraji? Just that she also was calling out Project 2025, that we all should like, understand it a little bit deeper, which I should like read through it. I have not read through it, but anything that the Republicans are trying to do, or Trump is really co-signing and spearheading, like y'all already know I'm not about it. So yeah, something to talk about, something to look into. And she's just bringing awareness, because we all kind of thinks it's like fun and games, and it's not, and we'll get into it. But yeah, so that was her part of like the BET Awards. And then, have you heard anything about the performances? Do you want to talk about any of the performances you've
Okay,
seen?
before we get to the performances, let's talk about the red carpet. Have you seen Angela Simmons
No.
in this in this Katie Got Band's gun she holding?
Katie
She
got
looking
bands.
crazy.
Oh my
Now the
goodness.
thing is, see, okay, I know you like to call somebody Katie, but the thing is, Katie,
Katie.
when she holds a gun in the music video, she does like this, and it's like,
Oh,
and Angela
yeah, I could do
Simmons
it.
had like a purse, and it looked like a gun,
Mm,
and it was like a green gun, and the way she was
interesting.
holding it like a gun. It was
Mm.
just so cringe. I'm not gonna lie. Like the pastor's daughter should not be doing that. Reverend Run would be is shaking. He's alive, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
kill you
His
yet, boy?
brother
I'm
is the
sorry.
one who needs to figure his life out, truly.
I did not mean to. make you dead, sir. I'm so sorry, Reverend. But my dude, like, Angela, what is this? Is Yo Gotti got you doing this? Who put you up to
Yeah,
this?
right? That's what I was literally wondering. I was like, is she still with him? Is he still influencing her, or what's up? Maybe
I
she's trying to
don't
get a new
know.
rapper. She's like advertising, hey, I'm gangsta now. So if y'all are checking for me, this is how I rock. Don't ever
I
let
don't
me
know if you
speak.
can see this. Everybody that could see this, like, baby, what are you doing right now? Like,
She's trying to be with the young, cool gun holders. Duh.
absolutely not. Absolutely
Young,
not.
cool
And I
gun
heard she,
holders.
and they said she apologized. I'm so sorry. Girl, what you
Yeah.
expect? What you
Yeah,
expect?
there's not like a whole genocide happening. We're not like funding weapons to, Israel. We're not, killing kids in schools left and right. Other people's mans ain't just been shot down, gunned down, dead. Guns,
Right?
guns
Right?
are cool.
Right?
What? Yeah,
What?
yeah.
It's truly American, right? Again, we'll get
This
into
is
that
America.
later. All right. Now going back to performances, we have to stand for our girl, Victoria Monet.
All right, all right.
The mic was on. She had several costume changes and she looked so good. So I don't know. I don't know. This is a stan account for Victoria
Victoria
Monet.
Monet, yes.
We love you, girl. Just know
I
that.
I would
Oof.
try you out.
I was gonna say something else, but I feel like me and her was gonna fight. I was like, I'll try
Who?
something else out. I'll try her nigga out. Look.
Yeah, he fine too. Yeah,
Yeah, very
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Again, this is a stand account, girl. So
It
just
is.
I love
Yeah,
you.
good for
I would
you.
never,
Good,
I would
good
never,
choice. Unless
I would
y'all want.
never,
Are y'all open
I would
on
never.
your Sham Booty and your Jared? Cause also fine
Yeah,
individuals.
that's a great looking couple as well. I agree with
Okay.
you. Okay,
Yeah.
so, but yeah, she did her thing, and also she did her thing with Tiana Taylor. For first
Mm-hmm.
off, I didn't know Usher was being tribute. I didn't know. I feel like I let my man down. I don't know if people know, but me and Usher used to be in a relationship when I was like 12 years old when Confessions came out. So, yeah, like the fact that you got tributed, like you got a Lifetime Achievement Award, like, and I wasn't there to see it. Like, I'm so sorry, Usher. But Tiana Taylor and Victoria Monet looked great. You sent that video, and I watched it a couple times,
Oh, it's
actually.
okay. I stop every time I see it. That's why my algorithm is jacked. Okay, I literally stop every time. I like, God dang. Okay, I was literally cooking in the kitchen, and I was like, hold on, I gotta watch again. And I was just talking about them. Like, was I not like on the last episode or something where I was just like, yeah, like totally could go like bisexual, for them. You know what I'm saying? Like something on the like Mackenzie scale, like, like I feel like I was just making them comments and then they had to show up and be like, Erica, we're looking for you. This is your sign. You said you were thinking about it. Let me actually push you over into that direction. And honestly, I would go if it wasn't for this weekend, and we'll definitely talk about it because it wasn't looking like I had any dick options. So, was really reconsidering my whole
You
entire
were like,
life.
look, you were like, look. So if God give me a sign, what's this weekend? There you go.
Yeah, thanks. Love signs.
But
Um,
shout out to
yeah,
you, Usher. You deserve it.
they did a tribute, and it was mostly women R&B artists, and then like Lotto at the end, who were honoring him through their various performances of his
What did
various
Lotto do?
songs.
What did she
She
perform?
rapped Lil Jon's part of "Yeah, Yeah, Yeah." Was that the song?
Okay.
She like
Okay.
closed out with like "Yeah"
Um.
or whatever
So
song she
all
did.
women.
Mostly, Childish Gambino opened up, and I forgot what he sang. I wrote it down, but he opened up. They all were doing covers of Usher's songs, but Childish opened it up, and That's it. I think he might have been the only one. Forgive me if I'm forgetting somebody else. And then yeah, it was all women. Coco Jones, vocals were great. She was a little awkward. I agree with Impressive's take. She was a little awkward trying to be like sexy, but otherwise it was great. Chloe Bailey shut it down. What'd she do? Oh my god! I wish I had the. Oh, sorry guys, go watch the performances.
Coco, yeah, yeah. Go. I'm gonna go online because I didn't see any of them, so I will probably have a little bit more for my extra thoughts because I love my man
Right.
Usher, but Coco Jones, she got that Disney Channel on her. She can't get it off her. Chloe
And maybe
too.
she's just like a really good girl, you know? I don't know. Yeah, Chloe did great. And then obviously we just said Tiana Taylor and Victoria Monet were phenomenal. Who else? Um, there was somebody who was so bad, and I don't even know who this person
Are you
is.
talking about Marsha Ambrosia? Because that's who I saw
Yes,
too.
yes.
And the thing is, Marsha's not
I
even a bad singer.
I was like, who is she? Why is she doing this? I was like, who voted her? Kiki Palmer did a thing which I thought was like an interesting choice. They were being messy, but I appreciate it. Plus, Kiki can sing too, so it's just like we don't think of her that way as much. But she's multi-talented. But yeah, she did a little part of his tribute. Yeah, Tinashe was
Kiki
up there.
Usher. Oh, they got a whole bunch.
Mm-hmm.
Nashe.
Yeah,
Miss
she was
Nasty
okay.
Man. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay. All
Well,
right.
she followed Chloe Bailey, so she
Mm,
probably should have followed Marsha.
all right. Well, any other thoughts with BET? Because that's all that the algorithm showed me was Usher, um, Miss Angela, Katie Van Simmons,
Oh,
and
Summer Walker was a part of the tribute as well, and people said that she improved her skills, her stage presence.
very good, as she
Mm-hmm.
should.
So other performers, Meg the Stallion performed and did pretty well. She outshined Glorilla, so that's what people are talking about. Um, what
Well,
else?
isn't Glorilla like fairly new compared to Meg? So why are we stop putting them girls against each other? Okay, in my opinion, Glorilla is very happy that she has a great. Is that a mixtape she came out with? But
It's 7 p.m. Friday.
95 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got no nigga, and no nigga ain't got me. So yeah, girl, like she got the song of the summer. She's on tour with Megan. Megan is, more exposed than Glorilla at this time. But she's getting more hype. You saw that, Rihanna posted Oh Girl song. So my thing
Yeah.
is like, girl, you coming up. So I want her to remain humble because she is very sweet. She seems like a sweet girl. She's a Leo, so I'm gonna just, I'm
Yeah.
gonna give her that little space. But like, yeah, stop trying to pin bitches against each other, okay? It's annoying. Thanks.
On the male side, Shabuzi, the country artist, brought out Jaquan. Everybody in the club getting tipsy because Shabuzi
Oh,
has the song Everybody in the Bar Getting Tipsy, his little country song that's inspired by don't
he's kind of hot.
everybody in the club getting okay, well, sure. Um I need to look at him a little bit longer.
Well,
Uh
don't. Oh, sorry, I hit my mic. Don't look at the dreads. Just look at his face.
okay, yeah. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna recall.
Okay. So now we gotta hurry up and do our DC trip catch up and stuff. But we could talk about how this.
We have the presidential debate.
I mean,
Fit
you,
it in.
you. All right. So y'all, we were in DC this past weekend. And, this was a very impromptu trip for us. It was a situation where, hey, here's some cheap flights. Let's go, even though the trip wasn't that cheap, honestly. But,
Wait, what are we fitting in the presidential debate?
well, didn't we see the presidential debate or saw pieces of it?
Oh, so we're sorry, just taking it out of the extra. Gonna put it on like Thursday.
Oh, that's okay. You know what? Let's go ahead and just talk about the presidential debate. You know what? Life is very scary, y'all. Like, July 4th is here, and every year that holiday doesn't stand for what it really stands for, but I think that's a reality that every American has to come to terms with as they get older and have to work. Yep, take that shot, girl. You know what? Let me take some more right here. How'd you feel about the presidential debate between former President Trump and current President Trump, current Joe Biden? Sorry, Freudian slip because
Right?
right,
Quite the slip.
he's coming. Sorry, go ahead.
He's Yeah. Okay. So high level thoughts would be that Trump is hyper focused on immigration, and literally could not say something that was truthful to literally save his life. Um, and then I would say that Biden definitely, what did my mom say when I was just talking to her? She was like, Biden had a senior moment. Okay. That was his senior moment. Um, Basically was definitely showing his age. Trump definitely did look
A lot
just more,
better.
yeah, more sound, more in his mind and body, like a little more quick witted. Biden seemed like he was very, very rehearsed, but like he was like he had a couple moments at the beginning. It was like, I don't know. And his team is trying to say that he was sick, but we know he's sick because he's dying.
Yeah,
The
that
insides are rotting. You're old. That's what is happening. It's causing your illnesses. Sorry.
you got
Um,
that Alzheimer's, that dementia glaze.
I would also like to say that Trump is old too. He is
They're
very
both
old. They're the
they're around the
same.
same
They're
age.
2 years apart. But he definitely was presenting like, you know, he might be 6 years younger, not two. You know, um, and
Crazy.
every
Why are
every
these
year
old people
counts
running for president? Why are these old people running for
because
president?
only rich white men can run for president, and most rich white men are old.
We're doomed. Anyway, so I mean,
Yeah, we're all gonna
I'll
die.
say this. I'm gonna say this, and this goes to our first night in DC. We went to go grab food at Busboys and Poets, and the presidential debate was like you would have thought it was a Super
Like the
Bowl,
NBA finals.
right?
Did I say
Everybody,
NBA? The NBA finals. I think I said M, but that's okay. The NBA finals. It was really like a party. I honestly was so. I think I got turned on. I was like, oh my gosh, because what I say when we landed, I was like, so y'all want to watch the presidential debate? And y'all was like, and I was like, all right. And then of course, where we go, we went to the place, and everybody was in there. Everybody was up in there watching the presidential debate, and I was like,
my people,
my people.
honestly, true.
Truly.
Cause I didn't want to watch that. I don't want to be depressed, which I understand. It's like you gotta watch it because you gotta see what really is in the headspace of the presidents or the president to be. And honestly, I already knew, I already assumed. There was this one clip of Joe clapping, and he was just standing there while people were performing, and he had this glaze in his eye, and I'm like, yo, this. I don't know who's really pulling the strings back there, but it ain't him. I don't think he know what he wearing that day.
And I think I wish people would like really realize that. I didn't finish higher learning, but they were definitely bringing up that point that like people who were like nervous because of how Biden is aging and like is he capable, you have to have confidence in his administration. Like, do you feel like the people that are on his team are capable of making the decisions that we would like? And because that's really who's, again, that's who's making the decisions, right? Like that's who's really helping and like a part of this whole like thing. So don't hyper focus on the singular individual. I know we haven't talked about the immunity situation thing yet, but like in historical situations, it
Huh.
wasn't just a dictatorship, okay? And the president wasn't the only like person who was able to do like he wasn't just operating in a way that he's doing whatever he would like, or I can't say she because we haven't had one yet. So, um,
Not yet.
yeah,
Now we'll see.
yeah. Yeah, that was a high level. That's the presidential debate. I actually got so upset when they spent time arguing about golf, and who has the better golf game. And I was like, why are we talking about that? And someone posted that they spent like 22 seconds talking about like black women's plight, and then they spent like 56 seconds talking about like the golf. And I don't know if that's exactly the topic or
Of
whatever they
course
were
they
talking
would.
about, but like they
Of course
spent
they
more
would.
time on like their golfing skills. And someone else posted like, do you think that people who aren't on the same team golf together? Like, do you think that like I wouldn't, y'all know how I feel about people that I dislike. What would I feel about my enemies? You think I'm gonna be like, let's just golf and like let's just see who's a better golfer and let's like really be golfing and talking about
They all look.
no. So it has some people conspiracy theory ish kind of being like they really the same. They really like each other. They really
And this is
got the
water.
same agenda. Okay, like don't get me started.
But yeah, it was very interesting to see. And it just lets me know, like, okay, this just gives people more ammo to say, you know what? We might as well vote for that man because this one ain't going to last too long. But then another part of me, and what a lot of conversations I'm hearing is just like, you know what? We really just don't know what's going to happen. And it's just like both options are very, very sad. Um,
Honestly, we have to think about it though too, because I can't remember what number of seats on the Supreme Court are up. The justice, well, I need to learn. But like the president is who gets to assign these hoes, and so there's 3 seats, I think, 3 seats that are going to be up, and the next president is going to be able to make that decision. Who do we want to make that decision? Do we want it to be more conservative? No, we don't.
Child, this
We don't.
country going to crap. And let's get into how do you feel? Any last thoughts on the debate? Because it's time to get into this this the Supreme Court has ruled apparently, immunity can be granted to a president and all of his official acts.
Yeah,
You know,
former presidents. Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about this. And you know what? I'm gonna just go ahead and be facts with
Yeah.
Jack really fast.
Jack facts,
Um,
Jack facts, Jack facts, Jack facts. Yeah.
hey everybody, let's learn today. All right, so really quickly, and we'll post the sources in the episode. But long story short, the Supreme Court ruled in Trump versus the United States that presidents have absolute criminal immunity for official acts under core constitutional powers, presumptive immunity for other official acts, and no immunity for personal actions. So now it's giving dictatorship. But you think about it, what are official acts and what are not official acts? And that is for the lower courts to decide. And we already know what's going to happen. But let's talk about it. What is an official act? Let's talk about it. Official acts are something that you would expect the president to do, a kind of core presidential duty, acting like a commander in chief of the military. So if you send troops to Lebanon, for example, he couldn't be prosecuted for murder because he was conducting as commander in chief of the army. So we're talking about the things that Trump did on his own fucking time. Okay. Now, the storming of the Capitol, was that considered an official act? I don't think so. Is you paying a sex worker from your presidential, budget? Was that an official act? You messing with the electoral votes or, in these states, was it Georgia?
Election interference.
Is that considered an official act? I don't think so. But again, they're going to spit on us and say it's raining. I just feel it. And I do feel very sad and scared about it. And it just has me thinking about shit. Where am I going to move to? like, Where
You're
am I
supposed to be
gonna
going to
move to?
Portugal with me. Okay,
I
Barcelona.
do need
Okay.
to. I told you, like, the black people are out there. I need to travel. I gotta do more. I thank the Lord that He granted me my license so I can go ahead and figure out what the hell I'm gonna do because it's not here. And even if it is here, at least I can make a way and living for myself where I don't particularly care about what happens to, you know, me on an everyday basis because I'm in control of, a lot of things in my life versus to say if I had like several kids and I didn't have, access to income to take care of all of them, what are going to happen to the social programs? What are going to happen to the infrastructure? I can always move, you know? Like, there's things like that you just think about and you're just like, okay, black people, black and brown people, especially minorities and women, aren't we like a double whammy here? Like, any moves that are made are tripled down onto us. And it sucks. Any thoughts on that?
I was just talking to the intern, and he was sharing his experience about like corporate America and blah 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 blah. And I was like, oh, who'd you talk to? And he was naming like he named three individuals about like how they shared their thoughts and blah 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 blah. And I literally he was like, thank you so much for sharing with me, blah blah blah. Because I literally was like, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but here's some real for you. You're talking to three white men. Yeah, they doing just fine. They good and they love it. They making money. People appreciate their thoughts. They run this ish. Corporate America is built for them. I just want you to understand that that's like who you're talking to and who you're getting your thoughts on. You're getting them from senior leaders. So maybe you should talk to other people and also see what their experiences are like in corporate America. And I was just sharing with him that, like, I just was sharing a lot with him. Anyway, I say that to say that yes, I agree with you that like yeah, intersectionality matters. There are several different layers to someone's identity that can truly like impact how they experience life, right? And the more marginalized your identity is, the larger, you know, impact negatively that like it has on you and your experience, right? So like you can be okay a person, right? And we all have seen probably like the walk of privilege that went super viral in 2020. Go watch that experiment. But at my job we also did this similar exercise, and basically like we had people do like a plus thumbs up or a thumbs down, on like their experience. And so like one of the questions were like, are you someone who's like afraid to walk alone at night? And like what part of your identity has you fearful of walking alone at night, right? Maybe you identify as a woman. Maybe you identify as someone in the LGBTQ plus community. Maybe you are a minority in a certain part of town, right? So what part of your identity are you pulling from that has that fear, or resonate with this statement? Another question could be like, are you someone who has a fear, or are you someone who has to consider whether or not that there is a ramp or staircase to enter into a building? And what part of your identity has you not thinking about, that consideration? What are you pulling from, right? Maybe you have able-bodied privilege and you don't have to make considerations or thoughts all of the time about what you have access to. And so like there is privilege all over the place, and people truly need to like understand their privilege. And sometimes when you have again those intersectionalities, being black, being a woman, I just said maybe a member of the LGBTQ plus community. Okay. Like there are maybe a disability. Lord knows I probably have undiagnosed ADHD. Lord knows, oh girl, I'm waiting
Don't
for
we
my
all?
therapist to tell me I have depression or anxiety or something. Ho, give me something. Okay. So
No screening, no
I'm
nothing.
sure that there are a ton of things, okay, that are not working in my favor. And so that's to me the issue, right? Like we have people, someone said that like it's so funny that the most privileged people are making decisions for the least or the regular, right? And so it's like we need people who have like maybe lived a life to really make these kinds of decisions, to really like have these types of experiences that will reflect the masses, that will support the masses, right? And so it's just The only positive I have about this immunity thing, or like the direction of like Trump and maybe like him becoming president, I'm like, well, maybe, all these other felons, should will get more opportunities, right? Like maybe off of regular schmegular job applications, there will no longer be like a fill out your felony, or like we just don't do those kinds of. I think there's levels, right? I'm not saying I want to necessarily work next to someone who murdered somebody like last year, um,
Absolutely not. Cause
but
I was
like
like, hold on, Chester the child
levels.
molester can go over there.
But what I'm saying is there are
Mm-mm.
people who have done far less who can't get less. It's like, oh boy, sold a little dime bag. He can't work at Walmart.
It's crazy. It's nuts. And the thing is, I love how you said it. Like, why are the people making decisions for those, you know, who can't? But honestly, with power comes privilege. So let them tell it. They losing all of it. But
Ugh.
whatever.
Later.
Whatever.
And I'm like, it's been like
Whatever.
it's been 4 years. Y'all really just like really kind of expect. Well, I mean, over time, incrementally, yes, you have been losing your privilege because y'all couldn't whip us to stay in fields and pick your cotton. Okay, so over time, y'all are losing
Good. Shit.
privilege, but like truly, it's okay. It's okay. And I just want to know like why you feel like it has to belong to you and like other people can't have that ish. Anyway,
I know. Okay. So we have like a couple minutes, like less than 15.
I already
Are you,
when I looked and saw that we were at like 30 minutes, I was like it was 27 minutes. I was like we going over.
yeah, when I saw the BT Awards, I was just like, yeah, someone who watched it, I was just like, okay, we might have to, you know, nip that in the bud.
It's okay.
We'll
Continue
see.
cuz I got to stay up to
That's fine.
get this ish together.
Okay. All right, y'all. So shoot. Let's talk about DC. Let's talk about our girls trip.
Yeah.
Oh, did you want to talk about these questions? Nah, fuck it. I feel like we answered them a little. I don't know.
Happy mother
What do you
4th
want
of
to do?
July hoes, okay? Y'all kind of free but you ain't free. Ho. That's it. That's the
See, that's what
point.
the drink is doing. The drink is making me lazy. I'm just like, you know what? Fuck them questions. Okay, but you know what? An ideal society for me is a fair society. A society that isn't based off of, you know what I hated when we were in DC and I was just like, all men are created equal. All blank people are, Independence Day, freedom for this country. This country represents something different. And it does because we were one of the first societies and, that, hey, you can come here and you could do whatever and make a living and do well for yourself. There used to be other cultures and even in other countries. If you were born in that system, you stayed in that system, you stayed in that class, you don't move up. But here you have the opportunity to do those things. But my thing is, what comes with that in order to gain those opportunities is opportunity. You know, you have to have someone that vouch for you to come over to here to get a visa. You can't just live here. You need to live. You could, you know, you if you needed the money to come over. Did you have the money? Did someone sponsor you? And when you're here,
Can
do you
I
have the education?
I was just gonna say that when you were talking about like, do you have the money? I was listening to another podcast that I really appreciate. It's called "This Is Uncomfortable," a podcast about life and how money messes with it. And they were talking about how Palestinians that have a little bit more money can pay to get out of Palestine. And like, there was she was interviewing this woman who had to pay. It was like $10,000 a person, or something like that, to get out of Palestine. And of course, she was like, well, it's just gonna be me and my man. I can't really pay for the rest of my family. And like, her struggling with that decision and having to make that decision, and like, how she feels about it. And it's just,
So she chose her nigga. He was like, okay.
yeah.
Is that her husband?
Yes.
Okay. Cause ain't no way. Okay. I'm
No,
sorry.
these are not the N words. Okay, they are Palestinian
Yeah.
people.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I love that. Cause I would, if I'm your sister. It is just us. You chose your nigga, not me. I'm your sister. I couldn't leave my sister. Like, but then it's just like, well, once you're married and stuff like that, you're a one, and I get that part. So I should listen to that. Ooh, ooh, that's deep. Send me that when you were done.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. But long story short, once you're in America, money stands in the way between you and opportunity. They say, work ethic too, but which is true. But let's be honest with you. Money brings you a lot of privilege that, my skin color really can't sometimes. And my gender, occasionally. Yeah. So, I mean, an ideal society for me is just one that's equal. We do job applications. We don't put our name, we don't put our age, we don't put anything that identifies us other than a person that can do a job. You know, when we have crimes put up against us, you're not looking at my skin color and not looking at, who could I be in this society? Do I look like a danger? And then I'm looking at someone who doesn't share the same background as me and they're deciding my fate. Or I'm looking at a jury that doesn't look like me because they're going to do their best to not choose anybody that's going to be biased towards your situation. And then look at the fact that, hey, I may have committed a crime because I was desperate or like even just me being insane. They took out the, mental institutions across this country and will just put me in with the population of people who want to do basic white collar crimes. And me, I'm having a mental breakdown. I'm going through something like postpartum depression, or I have bipolar undiagnosed and nobody is here to help me, or schizophrenia. But they look at me as a crazy black woman and throw me in with the population to get who knows what done to me by who knows who, because the people that are in charge are so messed up. But that's just me. That's my ideal society. And also, if I'm doing my best in this country to, be something, I shouldn't be penalized with crippling debt. You know? That's it.
I feel like your society looks like my society. I really appreciate that. I don't have any other additional like things to contribute to your thoughts on society. I guess here I am, a hypocrite, saying like, I guess that, no, don't escape me, don't leave, don't leave. That's the
Don't
song.
leave me, girl.
Oh.
Please stay with me tonight.
Okay, so
Oh,
in
sorry.
recent in recent days, okay, I have been thinking about segregation.
Okay.
I don't know what else to say.
Now I have a question because I asked Earlene the same question and she was like,
Yeah, going to
"Oh
all
my
only white
god."
restaurants forever. She told me that ish, and I was like, only black restaurants, and I was like, we are not a monolith. Okay.
Yes, we are with them green ass walls, okay, and that horrible customer service. Let me stop. So all right,
No,
y'all.
I
We are better
I do
than
like
us.
to experience food and different things and experiences and atmospheres and all the things, and I do. I think we could create those. I think there are people who would be like, I'm gonna create that for us, and I'm gonna have this standard for me and my side of the street, and you can have your standard for you and your side of the street, and like we can have the whole gamut of diversity of black owned spaces, and what does that mean, right? Like it doesn't have to mean a specific thing. um so if that is the case, then sure, yes, I think that we could do it. And I think that again, over time, I think that we will see growth and evolution of our communities to be able to offer that broader spectrum of things. It's going to be uncomfortable. I think we all have to be okay with being a little bit uncomfortable in the beginning of any kind of transition that we're going to make, right? Like everything is going to be uncomfortable, but like that is growth, right? Like you had to go through a ton of school, and that wasn't fun. That wasn't the good part to get to the growth, right? Like to get to that better, different outcome. And so I think that like we all are going to be a little uncomfy in this transition because we're not used to doing it, or like we don't have the infrastructure or the resources yet, but we have to commit to it so that it will get better and easier, right? Everything, right? When you start working out, when you start eating better, when you everything, okay?
Stop drinking.
Okay. So I want to say yes because I want to support us, and I feel like that's what I would like to do. And it's not to say that I
I
hate
will
everybody
say,
else. It's just that, like, why y'all on our necks? Get off. We can be over here by ourselves if, like, y'all can stay over there. Like, just don't intentionally continue to, like, negatively interfere and impact us. Like, just leave us alone and we can commingle. Otherwise, if you're not, like, just also still leave us alone and we could be over here.
stop bombing our town. Stop hanging us, please. Like, thanks so much. Look, we're okay. Okay, and I do think that if segregation was a thing and they brought it back, it would force all of us that live that work in these corporate Fortune 500 spaces to okay, well, we have to make our own, because let's be honest, like the middle management, the people who actually shape how the corporation is going, the top, they just say yes or no. Okay, but somebody got to bring them the ideas, because they ain't not sitting up and thinking of ideas all day. If you took these people, yeah, that's right, and then you took these people and they're forced to make their own, we'll be good. Like me, I'm not going to be rushing to a hospital or rushing to a company, insurance company, to make money when I could start my own. And I know who to hire. I know how to run it myself, you know?
And that's why we're
Now,
thinking
granted,
about. Sorry.
I
I'm
was
gonna
just
call it.
saying,
I hope our
unfortunately,
audio and everything is together. You're just. I'm like, we're a little delayed. I'm like hearing your words after you're mouthing it, so like nothing's fitting in.
oh no. Let me make sure we're all good here. But yeah, what's crazy? That's all I got to say about this. We are definitely at the end of this hour.
I like. Should we save DC for a future episode? We've been teasing DC this whole entire time. I'm like, should we just save it now?
We could, and then we could do a quick another episode, and then just post it, and call it a day.
It sounds beautiful to
Like,
me. Thanks for listening to it.
yeah, right. Hey, thanks for listening. Go ahead, take us out. I feel like y'all was vibing with us this whole time. I feel like we were just, this was a very interesting, video, and
We was
like
in
we really
it.
dug in deep. Happy 4th, actually, well, mild 4th of July. Take your days off, have your weekend, reflect on this country, make better decisions, register to vote, go vote. I'm speaking to myself. And then, do what you got to do, man.
Yes, yeah. Make sure you also do the things that you have to do for this podcast, which include like, subscribe, turn on your notifications, share it with a friend if you thought it was insightful, interesting, if you think we're hot and attractive and you're just like, look at these hoes that I want to get all up in. Yeah, baby. Okay. Y'all know where to find us. We're on social media. We have an Instagram and a TikTok. It is just extra underscore podcast. Jackie has an Instagram. It is at all things J. J is spelled out, Jay. I have an Instagram. It is at Erica underscore stay ready. I guess y'all obviously know that on the next episode we're going to talk about DC, since we were like hinting at it this whole entire thing and then just like last minute changed our mind. But feel free, if you have something to say about us, put it in the comments, okay? Put it in your ratings when you rate this podcast, okay? Tell us what you would like us to hear. Send us an email at justextrapodcast@gmail.com if you have questions for us, you would like advice. And, until next episode, we'll talk to y'all then.
Go register to vote. Bye. That's your extra advice.
Okay, love it.